Hey guys, Richard from the Pokéfamily here again. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about Rayquaza, which I reckon is the next raid boss that's coming. He kind of makes up the final part of the weather Pokemon triumvirate from Generation 3 from the Hoyland region. Now we've had Groudon and Kyogre. Rayquaza is almost definitely next. There was a theory for a while that he was going to be an EX raid boss, but I think that we're going to keep Mewtwo in that bracket for quite a while yet. There are quite a few people that don't have him, and it's going to take Niantic quite a while before they take Mewtwo out of that bracket, because it would be awful if it was absolutely awful if EX raids were random. And put something else in. Maybe Deoxys might end up in that category, but today we're here to talk about Rayquaza. His counters, his perfect IVs for catching, his, you name it, everything. The moves that he's going to have, everything that you need to know for raiding this guy. He's quite important in the fact that under all scrutiny, he is the strongest dragon type in the game currently. Well, in the game files currently. He's been compared to Dragonite, he's been compared to Salamence, and he comes out on top. So this guy is going to be good. I mean, in the future there are quite a few dragon legendary raids on the horizon, and dragon types counter dragon type moves. They're not always going to be usable, but you're going to want one of these guys, and you're going to want a decent one. So here we go. When battling Rayquaza, his CP is going to be 45,468, which is a bit below what we've been seeing from the others, but still going to hit hard. He's got dragon moves, which are some of the hardest hitting moves in the game. If he's got dragon moves, he's going to get stab. He's got some flying type moves. He's a flying type Pokemon as well. He'll get his stab. So he's going to be dealing some pretty significant damage. He's got access to Dragon Tail and Air Slash as quick type moves. So both of those is going to be getting stab. Dragon Tail I think would be the worst of the two, and will deal the most damage. So when going into a raid encounter, if it's got Dragon Tail, don't use your Dragon types, if I'm honest. As far as charge moves concerned, Outrage, Aerial Ace and Ancient Power. Out of those three, Ancient Power is the most favourable to raiders, Outrage being the worst, and Aerial Ace being kinda in the middle. If it's got Dragon Tail and Outrage, dragons are pretty much a no-no, so no Dragonites, no Flygons. None of those guys who are in the game currently should be in your team for fighting a Rayquaza that's got Dragon type moves. However, something that's important to note, just like Dragonite, Rayquaza has a double weakness. Ice. Double weakness. Now, we haven't had the strongest type to ice types in the game yet, but we have got some decent ones and some that are significantly worth using against Rayquaza. He's also weak to fairy, dragon and rock type moves. Obviously the rock because he's a flying type. The ice types are the real counters for this guy. I mean, it's a classic combination, the flying / dragon type in Pokemon, and this is a real major example of that. So let's jump into counters. My first choice for a counter for this guy is Articuno with Frost Breath and Ice Beam. Sometimes I just can't speak. Frost Breath and Ice Beam. This is the first time that Articuno's really seen any significant use since his release. He will be outclassed. Mamoswine, as I talked about in my previous video, will outclass this guy, but that doesn't mean that he's not good. I'm working on one, he's nearly completely maxed out. I will continue to use it probably even when Mamoswine outranks him. He's a good Pokemon. Next, Kyogre. Now Kyogre would have been on top if they hadn't got rid of Dragon Tail. He used to be able to have in the game file, just before they released him as a legendary raid, he could have Dragon Tail as a quick move. They removed that because they realised how overpowered it would be and it would be overpowered. Kyogre is a beast of a Pokemon. His CP is huge, his ability to deal damage, his attack stat is massive. Waterfall and Blizzard. Waterfall, you'll get your stab, it won't be super effective, but it'll do loads of damage anyway. Blizzard will just cause so much damage to make up that shortfall on the lack of a stab. Lapras with Frost Breath. I can actually speak sometimes. An Ice Beam. Again, generally this guy, at least for me, has been used as a defender. And even to this day, I'm yet to find, catch or hatch a good one. So it's not the easiest Pokemon to get. I've had a few hatch, I've caught a few in the wild, never managed to find a good one. But there are obviously you guys out there going to have good Laprases at this point. He's a good Pokemon. Frost Breath and Ice Beam, yeah. Piloswine, even though he's not got the Mamoswine evolved available yet, it's still a good choice. I've got a few. I finished powering one up. It's maxed out. I'm perhaps gonna to move on to another one because Mamoswine will be so good, and I'll just be able to evolve those guys straight up. You want Ice Shard and Avalanche on these guys. I think that I overall prefer the double bar charge moves. Even if they're the lower end 60s or 70s, some of them go up as far as doing 90 damage a pop, Dynamic Punch for example. I think I prefer those moves to the single bar big hits. Sometimes you don't have those options. This time you do. I mean, Avalanche and Ice Beam, etc. They're the better choices on these Pokemon. Walrein with Frost Breath and Blizzard. This guy is good. He's a good counter for flying and dragon types. He will quickly be outmatched by Mamoswine, like most things will be. The candies are easy to get. It's just a matter of pouring Stardust in. If you can find one that's got good IVs and you can catch it at a higher level, like level 30 plus, that will significantly help. He's a pretty good Pokemon. Pretty good Pokemon. Will be outmatched, but you'll still be able to use him. Cloyster. This is for me on the lower end of the ice scale. Ice Shard and Avalanche is alright. It doesn't have the potential to be upgraded in the future like Piloswine, so I'm hesitant about spending dust on these guys. It's pretty good. I mean, as far as countering flying and dragon types like Rayquaza, which there's going to be more of in the future, he's pretty good. But the dust to spend on that guy. Then of course you've got Dragonite with Dragon Tail and Outrage. Now obviously you don't want to use this guy against Rayquaza. If he's got Dragon Tail and Outrage, he will just rip that guy to shreds if you decide to do that. But if he doesn't, if he's got flying type moves as a variant or the rock type move, I know Ancient Power will still deal super effective damage against Dragonite, but it's not that good a move. It depends how often if the game fires it off at you. I would probably still stick him in a team if it had got Ancient Power, but primarily to be used against Air Slash and Aerial Ace versions of Rayquaza. Tyranitar, I mean, what more do you need to say? Tyranitar is the best rock type in the game. He doesn't have a quick rock move, but it's all made up by his massive attack stat. He still gets his stab on Bite, so you want Bite and Stone Edge on your Tyranitar. Most people have got pretty decent Tyranitars powered up by now. Solid Pokemon, will continue to be a solid Pokemon. Very, very, very useful. You can easily use him against Rayquaza. Golem, back to an old favourite. We've got flying types here again. Golem's a good Pokemon. You want Rock Throw and Stone Edge. He's a solid Pokemon. We'll slowly see less of a use as time goes by. I mean, depending on the moves that are available to Rhyperior, when Rhydon gets his upgrade, Rhyperior could end up being a better choice as far as rock Pokemon are concerned over Golem. But if you've already gotten powered up, they're still going to be pretty useful. And then finally, one of my favourite Pokemons, which I haven't got ready or powered up yet, so you won't see it in my team against Rayquaza, Gardevoir. Gardevoir is a solid Pokemon. Confusion, Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam is one of my favourite moves in Pokemon Go. I absolutely love that move. I have it on my Blisses, I have it on my Gardevoirs. I just love this move. I think it's amazing. I think it does solid damage. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. That's everything that's on my list. Obviously, you've got other options. To use. You've got like I suppose you could use Omastar maybe with rock variant moves, especially if you've got the legacy move on it. There are other options. Those are the best ones. If you're using anything that's outside that list, you're not going to be topping out any damage charts. You're probably not going to be generating more than one ball as far as dealing damage is concerned against Rayquaza. But the solid choices, you're going to feel good about dealing super effective damage. Nothing wrong with using Pokemon that are in your collection, guys. I do it sometimes, just because I like using them. But anyway, finally, perfect IVs. Non-weather boost. So if you want to catch this guy in a weather boosted situation, you want windy weather. Non-weather boost, 2083 is perfect. You'll be catching it at level 20. You'll need 250,000 Stardust and whatever it is, 250 candies to power it up around those levels, so long as you're level 38 or higher as a trainer. 2604 with a weather boost, that puts him at level 25. Saves you some Stardust, saves you some candies. Hopefully you'll be able to get some windy weather. It does happen, guys, it does happen. I've seen Mewtwo caught in windy weather, which gives you a boost. I've seen guys get decent ones. It happens in the game. You can do it, you can do it. Windy weather might not be as common in some parts of the world. Luckily I live in a temperate environment, so we get the whole gamut of weather. Sometimes it's not good because it's freezing cold, but you get windy weather, you get snow, we get everything here in this country. Elsewhere it might be a little bit more difficult, but it does happen. Anyway, that's my video, guys. Countering Rayquaza. Everybody's been waiting for this one. I can't wait for this one. It's a cool looking Eastern Pokemon. Not an amalgamation of Eastern and Western Pokemon like Dragonite, which Sprite I despise. It's not a Western type like Salamence. It is a pure Eastern Dragon. Long, flowing, lovely green colour. I can't wait to see this guy. It's coming. Get your counters ready. What is it, 14th of February? 14th of February, Kyogre goes away. That's the date that I've heard. Rayquaza's coming, guys. See you in a bit.